This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Man killed in St. James police confrontation. A 22-year-old man was fatally shot during a confrontation with members of the Joint Anti-Gang Task Force at the Shoes Arcade, Harbor Street in Montego Bay, St. James on Saturday. The deceased has been identified as Dwayne Horton of Catherine Drive in the community. Details are sketchy, but the incident happened about 5:30 p.m. The police said a Smith & Wesson 9mm pistol containing a magazine with 14 rounds of ammunition was also seized during the incident. The matter has been reported to the Independent Commission of Investigations and the Inspectorate of Professional Standards Oversight Bureau. 29-year-old man shot dead in Manchester. Police are investigating the murder of a 29-year-old man in Silent Hill near Christiana on Saturday. Police named the deceased as Burhan Thompson, a resident of Silent Hill. A report from the police's Constabulary Communications Unit said that about 9 a.m., Thompson was standing along the roadway in his community when he was attacked by men armed with handguns. The gunmen opened fire, hitting Thompson. The police were alerted and Thompson was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Ministry of Health prepared to deal with COVID-19 related issues with resumption of classes. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton says the ministry is adequately prepared to respond to any further eventuality that could arise as a result of COVID-19 and as such supports the full resumption of face-to-face classes. The minister pointed out that nearly 2 years after Jamaica recorded its first COVID-19 case, it's now a much different period. We are a lot more aware of the response that we can give to our students and to the school environment. There are many lessons that we have learned in terms of controlling the virus, such as sanitizing and physical distancing, among other measures, Tufton stated. He was speaking during a virtual town hall meeting on the full resumption of face-to-face classes on Friday, March 4, which was hosted by the Ministry of Education and Youth. The health minister said in preparation for the full resumption of classes, a sensitization exercise was conducted for members of critical teams, including teachers and the support staff. He further indicated that additional provisions and protocols were instituted at schools, including establishing hand washing and sanitization stations and introducing mask breaks. Acting Chief Education Officer in the Education Ministry, Dr. Kassan Troop, who also spoke during the forum, said that at all levels of schools, principals are required to arrange mask breaks in a structured way. We don't want our children to just randomly take off their mask in the classroom or in their different spaces on the school compound. It has to be structured because we still have to remember that we have a responsibility to keep ourselves safe, she stated. Meanwhile, Tufton said maintaining physical distancing protocols in schools could prove challenging. We do know that children will play and enjoy themselves, but other measures are in place to support our children, which I believe is an excellent countermeasure when physical distance may not be practical, he contended. Tufton advised that he and his team plan to visit schools throughout the resumption period to monitor and adjust as needed. So we understand that it's not a one-size-fits-all because situations may come up that require some pivoting or adjustments. We will take these on a case-by-case basis and will adjust in a particular school environment where necessary, he indicated. Farmers cry for help amid sharp increases in fertilizers and other inputs. A number of farmers in a section of the central Jamaica parish of Clarendon are ready to call it quits if there is no help from the state agencies to reduce their operational costs. The news spoke with a number of farmers from the farming area of Riches in the parish, and they made it clear that their livelihood, their way of life, and their independence are under threat due to the sharp increases in the price of inputs. In fact, some farmers have scaled back production, with others looking at the prospect of quitting production altogether. William Mason, a yellow yam farmer from Lywood Riches, has been in the business for some 40 years. He said that he is contemplating cutting back production by 3/4. It's not working out, he said. The production is good, the yield is good, but we are not recovering what we spend. Mason, who exports most of what he produces, said what he gets paid for 100 weight was adequate 10 years ago, but with today's input, that comes like nothing. He said one of the most important inputs to farming, fertilizer, has been steadily increasing in price. Mason said that for the past 2 years, he has been buying the fertilizer at a loss to himself. He said it's not getting better, it's getting worse. He has managed to cut some cost by reusing yam hills and using one stick for more than one yam hill. But the veteran farmer said that the relevant authority must be able to intercede on behalf of farmers to get better prices. It's hard work and it takes 9 months to a year before the produce is ready. We face drought and other disasters. We face drought or other disasters that can cause low production, he noted. He has predicted that many young persons will not go into farming as it is difficult to earn a living. Young people are turning away from farming, and you can't blame them because they are just wasting their time, said Mason. When the news spoke with Simon Stanley, who plants tomatoes, yam and plantain, also in Lywood Riches, he had just spent $6,000 on products to spray his tomatoes to prevent the cold weather from destroying his crop. His tomato plants are heavy with fruit, and it will cost him a similar amount every 5 days to spray the crop so he may realize a decent harvest. However, it is not guaranteed that he will make back his money once the crop is reaped. He pointed out that farming has become a gamble and one cannot anticipate prices. This week I will have some green tomatoes in the field and it will cost $100 per pound, but by the time my crop is ready within a week, the price has gone down to $50. The longer you hold on to them, the more prices drop, he said. Stanley, who is a single father who raised 4 children on farming, noted that farmers might make some money if there is shortage due to a disaster, as prices will go up. Both Stanley and Mason said they previously employed persons to help on their farms. However, in the last few years, they have to use extra labor sparingly due to the associated costs. It cost me $5,000 per day in pay and lunch to have someone help me on the farm. I am spraying and I should have someone helping me, but it is just too expensive, said Stanley. Collectively, the farmers want a return of subsidies on fertilizers and the key material needed in food production. They caution that such help should not be offered by the political representatives, as this could lead to unequal distribution, fewer people benefiting, and ill feelings. For his part, Gerald Michael, who grows a variety of yams in Tweedside, wants set prices for food items. If we know that a pound of yam will be sold for $100, then we would have something to work for, but it can't be that today food costs $150 per pound and tomorrow it is $80. That won't encourage us. Like the other farmers, Michael has abandoned about 4/5 of his farm due to him being unable to work the field, compounded by the consistent string of losses he has taken. Jamaica's farmers are aging, and they are concerned that if things continue on the current trajectory, there will be no farmers left in the next 10 years. Already, good plots of farmland are overgrown or left idle with no one working them. Jamaica 60 gets $115 million for projects and staff compensation, said Grange. The Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, says a total of $115 million has been set aside for Jamaica 60 activities. Of the amount, $15 million will be used to compensate staff, while $100 million will go towards projects. Grange made the disclosure during Thursday's sitting of the Standing Finance Committee of the Parliament that examined the $912 billion estimate of expenditure for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. She was answering questions posed by the opposition member of Parliament, for St. Catherine Eastern Denise Daly. Grange told the committee that a Jamaica 60 Diamond Jubilee Awards function will be held to recognize the country's sports personalities who have contributed to the development of sports over the last 60 years. She also revealed that the long-awaited Museum of Sports will also be a Jamaica 60 project. This was in response to a question from the Member of Parliament for Manchester Central, Rhoda Crawford, about when the project will be realized. Grange said the work on the museum was far advanced, with an initial amount of $15 million allocated that will be used to engage the consultants on the project. The sport minister explained that while the museum fell under the sports division of her ministry, a decision was taken to place it elsewhere so the work could be fast-tracked. In order to expedite the process, we have now shifted it to the commemorative and the special events unit, and we will be treating it as a Jamaica 60 project, the minister told the committee. She stressed that a lot of work has been done already. We have identified a location, we have a design, everything is in place, said Grange. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.